Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Chosen ones, empaths. When it comes to narcissists involved in your life and in relationships, it's always done in a brutal fashion, you see, and it leaves the chosen one and the empath confused, because this person was someone they cared about. The chosen one or empath may or may not have woken up to narcissistic abuse, but even if they had woken up to narcissistic abuse slightly, it's probably not to the extent that you know the details of it now. And it's always done in a brutal way, right? It doesn't actually have to be the narcissist initiating the discard. It can be, but it could also be something they do in the relationship which causes you to cut them off. It could also be that. But the way they leave relationships, they destroy them. They absolutely destroy them, right? And what you got to understand is this pattern of behavior, in whichever way you've seen this narcissist destroy the relationship that you was in, it is a huge emotional outburst, even leading to a narcissist, using silent treatment against you, or discarding you, or ghosting you, and using silent treatment against you. It's a huge emotional outburst, right? All of these things, if a narcissist cheated on you, or a narcissist, it's a huge emotional outburst, right? They're not in control of their emotions. They're not in control of their actions. They just fall into these toxic patterns of behavior, right? I'm not saying they're not accountable for their actions. I'm just saying they just act off a whim, right? They just act off a whim, and they do these things, right? And they destroy the relationships. Everything you've built in the relationship, you could have built a loving home for you and your family and your children, right? Everything they do, they absolutely destroy the relationship, right? And the thing is they leave it in they leave on such bad terms, and it's the complete opposite to how regular people, even non-empaths, will leave a relationship, non-empath, regular people, amicably separate, they do things amicably, even if they have to go through divorce proceedings and things like that. It's done fairly, it's done without trying to get one over on one another, and it's done peacefully. And obviously divorces are messy anyway, but it's done in a much better fashion in comparison to what happens with these narcissists involved in your life. And a lot of you aren't even married to these narcissists involved in your life, and the way they left the relationship, is absolutely toxic, right? Absolutely toxic. So you got to understand that if a narcissist cheated on you, or a narcissist utilized silent treatment on you and just disappeared, or a narcissist, what else could they have done? A narcissist just becomes so toxic, or just creating chaos and drama, all of these things are very emotional outbursts, and because of this emotional outburst, they destroy everything, right? But at the time when they do these actions, right, whether that was cheating on you, whether that was, giving you silent treatment, whether that was, becoming abusive, toxic, they were behind their decision making. They thought these decisions would somehow lead to something better. They could have had back burner supplies. They could have had other suppliers on their radar. And they think that life's going to work out for them. And they're not all that fazed by the ending of the relationship. Initially, for a moment, for a moment, you know. But very, very quickly, I mean, in days, weeks, months, very quickly, it all depends on the narcissist, they realize that they totally screwed up. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It'll take 2 seconds of your time. Just like this video is showing up for you, it'll help show up for someone else in the community. I just wanted to let you know, if you do need a one-to-one session with me, the link for that is also in the description box. But yes, they absolutely destroy these relationships, right? And very quickly, you've got to understand that if you step back a bit, right, you know, they cheated on you, or they gave you silent treatment, or they become abusive and toxic and whatever, and you manage to get away from them for a day, 2 days, 3 days, and you fall into no contact, and you stop contacting them, you stop pursuing them, right? You've got to understand that they realize they screwed up very, very quickly. Some of them do have back burner supplies and other supplies they can run to. Some of them don't have supplies when these breakups happen. Some of them don't have immediate supplies who they can go to, or worthy supplies that they can go to, right? And the thing is, it all starts, you know, crumbling down. You know, all of their decision making, they start reanalyzing. You've got to understand that narcissists aren't sure of themselves, right? They're not sure of themselves. They're not sure of their, you know, they think they're sure of themselves, but then when something happens, right, they start reanalyzing. You know how it is. You reanalyze, you go over things in your head. You know how that is from a human perspective, from an empath perspective. You reanalyze things, you go over things in your mind. The narcissist is not exempt from this. They go over things, and they'll be angry that it didn't work out this way. They'll be angry that, you know, that if they cheated on you, you found out. They'll be angry that they got exposed. You know, they'll be recirculating in their minds about how they got caught cheating. You know, if a narcissist gave silent treatment and you didn't chase after them, or they cheated on you and you didn't chase after them, they'll be annoyed that you haven't chased after them. If they were toxic as hell and you managed to diffuse the situation and get out without any real, you know, everlasting damage, you know, they'll be annoyed because they wanted pure drama and pure chaos, you know. So they're frustrated at this point in time. They're frustrated that it didn't work out the way they wanted it to. And you've got to understand it. In these breakups that happen, it didn't all go their way. That's what you've got to break from your mind, right? A lot of chosen ones and empaths and other regular people that are involved with narcissists, they think that that somehow everything worked out in the narcissist's favor, and it just doesn't. You know, narcissists are never happy, they're never content. You know, so what's to say that this situation that happens is going to make them content? It's not. They're not going to be happy with the way it worked out. They always want more, right? They always wanted more from you. Even everything that you've done, you're loving, caring, empathetic, beautiful soul, you know, supporting them, caring for them. They still wanted more from you. You know, you wasn't, and you know, they acted, you know, they devalued you, and they wanted to push your buttons, and they wanted to try and get more from you and more from you, right? So in this scenario, you know, they want more, right? They wanted more from their actions. They wanted more supply. They wanted more reactions. They wanted you to chase after them. They wanted these things, right? So, like I said, it quickly starts to fade, and they start to realize very quickly, possibly even before they start entertaining new supplies. You know, they go to these new supplies to distract their minds, to ease them slightly, you know, but they soon realize that these new supplies aren't worthy. These new supplies aren't cutting it. So they're with these new supplies. Separation also causes a financial burden, you know, especially, you know, separation can cause a financial burden as well. You know, sometimes, you know, there can be a lot of, you may have been going halves on the property. Now they're paying for their property by themselves and things like that. So they have regular struggles as well on top of, you know, everything else that's going on in their minds. And the thing is because they're the one that broke the relationship down, they don't know how to build this bridge back across to you, right? They don't know how to get back across to you. You see, they want you back. They want you back. But they don't know how. They don't know how to get back, right? And if you even empathize with them in this situation, and imagine you were the one that was cheated, or you imagine you were the one that done silent treatment, or you were the one that acted so abusive and toxic and crazy, right, towards your partner, how would you repair it? These actions that they've done, or these actions that you would have done if you put yourself in their mind, in their body, right? They're irreconcilable. I can't even say the word. Irreconcilable. Sorry, it took me a little. I got a bit of a tongue twister there. You would do a better job at it. You'd be humble in your faults and your shortcomings. You'd be humble in your shortcomings, and you would try your best to make amends, and you'd say to yourself, if you can't make amends or you can't make this work, then so be it, and you'd try your best to do that, if you were the one that done wrong. But they're stubborn. They don't know how to build the bridge. So you have to understand their frustration intensifies, wherever they are in the world. Their frustration starts to intensify because they don't know how to build the bridge back across to you. And that's when you'll see the narcissist. And I'm telling you, this can happen in a number of days. It could take a few weeks. It could take some months, right? But they'll be going through this in their minds, even if you haven't heard nothing from them, But more often than not, if you play it right, you don't chase after them, you get away, you get in your safe space, you get in your safe zone, you get away from the cheater or the person doing silent treatment or the person acting abusive and toxic, and you get away from this narcissist involved in your life and you retreat to a place of safety, their feelings are going to start to intensify more and more and more, right? And they don't know how to build this bridge back across to you. They want you back. They want to be back in your life, right? And they know the longer they leave it, this version of yourself is going to start to fade. And this is why you'll often, a lot of you will often, you might get, a provoking attack from the narcissist. They could provoke you, They could do something like showing a new supply on social media to provoke you, to draw you out, to bait you out. They could do something negative to you, right? They could do something negative to you. They could have been a gift you bought them, right? There could have been a gift you bought them or an outfit that you bought them, and they post a picture in the outfit that you bought them, right? And obviously you shouldn't be looking at their social media, but I understand that early days on you will be looking at their social media if they are on social media and you are on social media, right? They could just do some provoking things, right? They could, pull away even more, they could pull away even more, in some sense, whether you have children or don't have children. If you have children, they could pull away and stop being a part of the child's life. Or if you don't have children, they could do something which shows that they're pulling away even more, but really they're trying to bait you. They're trying to provoke you to lure you back towards them. You see, this is what often they'll do. When these things don't work, you might get fake profile requests, indirect hoovers, it's them behind a fake profile. This is the types of patterns of behavior they do to repair the situation, and really they're making it a whole lot worse. They're making it a whole lot worse. And then you'll get hoovers, and you could get indirect hoovers or direct hoovers, or it could just be like this. What I'm saying, hoovers aren't always a declaration of love. It could be that they've forgotten something with you at your house, or and you think, oh, they've forgotten something at the house. Oh, that's what it means, and really it's not. Or they kept some of your belongings, so they're trying to lure you out to contact them about the belongings, or they left something important of theirs with you, so you have to contact them to give them that back. This is the types, and they'll plan this. They'll plan this. They'll leave these things with you from a long time ago, from before it come to an end, or from whatever, full well knowing that, say something happens, you're going to have to contact them. It could be their passport. It could be something like an important document or something like that. Something that you're not just going to throw in the bin. Something where you're going to have to make contact, and, this is what they'll often do, right? This is what they'll rely on. This is their building the bridge. You got to understand they don't know how to build the bridge back to you. And they're frustrated. They want you back, but they don't know how to do it because they're stubborn. They don't want to lose their position of power. They don't want to lose their position of power, and they'll watch you day in and day out. If you are on social media, they're watching you. If you are on dating apps, they're looking on dating apps to see if you're on other dating apps, to see if you're on there. They're watching you on those. This is like, they don't know how to build the bridge back across. They just don't know how to do it. Like I said, if you were in the version of them, or you done wrong, you would humbly and gracefully try to make amends. And if it didn't work out, you'd say, so be it. It didn't work out, and you'd get on with your life, and that's how it would be. They don't want to lose this position of power. They don't want to lower themselves down, so to speak. It's not really lowering themselves down. It's just doing the morally decent thing, but they don't do the morally decent thing, You're not going to get a clean breakup with a narcissist involved in your life. And what you need to take from this, is the way they've handled the situation with whatever you had going on in your life, between you and them, or whatever you had it going on in your life individually. You could have been having health problems, or you could have been, might have just lost your job, or like you could have things on your plate at the time. And it shows their true nature that they done this type of action to you, cheating on you, or giving you silent treatment, or becoming so abusive and toxic, or whatever. They've done this type of treatment to you at a time, that you could say there could have been better times they could have done it. You may not have been in the best space, basically. You may not have been in the best space mentally or physically or whatnot, right? And what this shows to you is this is not someone who is a lifelong partner. This is not someone that you can grow old with, and you can get ill, or you can get, sick, or you can share your struggles with, and they're going to help you with your struggles, or they're going to be there for you like you've been there for them, or like you would be there for them. This isn't someone you can rely on or trust, right? And that's what this whole situation is for you to realize, that they're not dependable. They're not someone you can rely on. If you've seen them do this already, you've seen them do this already, right? And sometimes it could have taken decades for this to all uncover. But if you've seen them do this now, it needed to end. The relationship needed to end. However long, whenever you've seen this, them do this, whenever this has happened, this ending of the relationship, and them not knowing how to repair a bridge, or not knowing how to have an adult conversation like two adults do during breakups and things like that, right? It just shows what they are. Them resorting to petty indirect hoovers, provoking attacks, direct hoovers, doing all this weird stuff while they're watching you. It just shows what they really are, and they're not worthy to be in your life. They're not worthy to be a lifelong partner. They're just not. They're not worthy to be there. And that's what you need to reinforce in your head. So anyway, To enhance your experience and have access to a gallery of exclusive unseen videos and a chance to reach out to me personally for video request ideas you have, there's a 3-day free trial that can easily be cancelled at any time by going to your Zion account page. All video requests are processed and uploaded within 24 hours from when request was submitted. A link to the Zion membership website will appear on your screen now. Thanks for listening today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you want to donate, you don't have to, but if you'd like to support the channel, you can. Links in the description box below. For more narcissism-based content, check out our other channel, links in the description box. Please visit the forums. One of them is Tips to Heal, and I'd love to find out what helps you on your journey. Please book a healing session with me if you need advice or some light shed on your situation. The Empath Monthly group meeting is coming up at the end of the month. Limited space is available. There's a WhatsApp group for survivors to stay in touch. I'm also doing email consultations if you need a plan of action. The links for all I've mentioned are in the description box below. If you'd like to know more about You No Longer Want the Narcissist and They Hate It, click this video here. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.